toward the end of Edison's life. On the 50th anniversary of electric light, when Edison is 82, Henry Ford stages a jubilee in his honor. First Ford and then President Herbert Hoover sing the great man's praises.
He strung a telegraph line to his best friend's house, hooked up a couple of cats and rubbed them with all his might to generate current. He set out to read the Detroit Public Library, got through 15 feet before he was caught.
Papers, get your fresh fruit here.
He went to work at age 15, selling newspapers on the mail train to Detroit.
I'll take a peach.
President Hoover.
By his own genius and efforts, this man rose from modest beginnings to membership among the leaders of men. His life shows Americans of every stripe that a lad with spirit can rise like a kite. He has enlightened the darkness, suffused the silence with music, the cinematic or the rhythms of life. The modern era sprang full blown from his mind. He stands and beckons by a bright open door.
We jump back in time to Edison's childhood. His mother finds him in a cloud of smoke. He has just set some white phosphorus on fire. He's learning a lot in his own way and knows all kinds of things.
Here's 6 bits. I peddled all the fruit.
How much of it went for fireworks?
Nothing. I make them on my own.
Why can't you be trustworthy, loyal, and helpful, friendly, courteous, cheerful, thrifty, kind, obedient, brave, and reverent?
I am.
Then go to school.
I learned more riding on the train. Do you know how they make glass? Do you know how steam runs trains? Do you know how a Frenchman fixes lunch? Fries up some snails.
Alva!
Ma! Do you know who built the pyramids? Do you know what makes the sunset red?
I know how they make butter.
I do. I learned it in a book. Do you know why summer's hot and winter's cold? What possums eat and what the national anthem of Peru is?
I know what I need to know, young man. And you are not as smart as you think.
At age 16, Edison embarks on the life of a roving telegraph operator. Telegraph lines are spreading across the continent. Jobs are plentiful. This song is based on one that Edison copied out in his journal.
waiter is a most mysterious creature. With taste and elegance they dress, but how they do it, I can't guess. The pretty girls of New Orleans offer up the tangerines to any likely-looking caller who has a shiny silver dollar. How can words fly through a hair? Copper road to everywhere. The trick requires a simpleton to stutter like a Gatling gun.
This is gibberish, Hugo.
They're sending gibberish. Cleveland, Springfield, Albany need good men to stroke the key. Footloose, tipsy, fancy-free, come join our fraternity. 7,000 words. Done, by God.
In the shop, Edison and his partner, Frank Pope, celebrate their first successful invention, a telegraph that prints out stock and gold prices.
Tick, 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 load paper, reset, advance, and bang! Oh, what a bright and gladsome sound! So, what's the price of gold?
$1.59.
When
At closing April 10th,
it came in on the line. Tick, 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 load paper, reset, advance, and bang! They struck gold in Peru.
prices start to fall.
That lucky minor strike will crucify us all.
Tom, get ready for La Vie en Rose. Book your table at Delmonico's.
Frank, my hair is turning white on me at 23. Tick, 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 load paper, reset, advance, and bang. So what's the price of gold? Should I buy or sell?
Hold! Just watch the ticker dance,
And you'll do very well.
Edison's early successes enable him to open a lab. But the workers are not getting paid.
You know the kiddies don't like beans on toast. The little lady, too, she likes a roast. They want to know how long we'll work for free, how long you'll bank on our philanthropy. The shoes are thin, the clothes are wearing through. We can't afford to be employed by you.
Come on, fellas. Give me one more week. We're not and never will be up the creek. Get aboard, boys. It's your lucky day. Our destination is the Milky Way.
Our destination is the poorhouse, boss. The skimpy meal of bread, the crown of thorns, the cross.
Edison needs money, so he goes back to the man who bought the rights to his stock ticker, shows him an improved version, and threatens to sell it to the competition. While the two of them wrangle, people in the outer office chat, gossip, and speculate about what is going on.
Atkins fired McGrath.
Think it'll rain?
Mining copper in Sumatra.
Can't complain.
And I told him so.
At 3:30.
Working on commission.
With Marie?
What was that?
Apple corer?
Sewing machine, is it?
Cuckoo clock?
What will they think of next? Knowledge in a pill?
Paper clothing?
Espresso? Vision so rare!
Hey, put her there.
Nice work, Al! $2,000!
Sure, I can build a decent shop.
You can pay me back. Ace can beat a king.
King beats the rest.
Bubbly anyone.
Please be my guest. Gotta buckle down on the duplex. I'm long on ideas and short on time. I only expect to live to be about 100. Vision so rare, woo woo.
Confound affair.
Can you lead the charge, woo woo?
Or do you care?
Or do you care?
Edison's first wife, Mary, worked in his stock ticker factory. Once they are married, she sees very little of him. A music hall number called Popsy Wopsy was a favorite of both the Edisons, and apparently she called him that.
I am a helpless female. My husband has been here and gone. Popsy Wopsy has vanished from sight. He has vanished from sight, and I'm left here alone to sing. A man needs a wife to furnish his life, cook him his food and mother his brood. She wants a bold Romeo, oozing romance and itching to dance. I am a helpless female. My husband has been here and gone. vanished from sight. He has vanished from sight, and I'm left here alone to sing. At Popsy's behest, I sit on the nest, listening for his voice at the door. But he forgets that, rarely regrets that I too can fly, and he learned to cry.
Mary died at age 29 from congestion of the brain. Not long before, Edison had discovered a way to record the human voice, the phonograph. He and his workmates sing every song they can think of into it. The sound of a recognizable voice coming back without any body was thrilling and uncanny. When we're dead, we'll still be singing.
Mary had a little lamb.
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 Bingo! Mary had a little lamb.
Mary had a little lamb.
The dying echo of the pure sweet voice makes
the
a very firmament rejoice.
The firmament rejoice.
Caught in time like a bug in amber, when we're dead we'll still be singing. My eye is attracted, I find, to a well-upholstered behind. Only the thrust of a thunderous blast can uplift my wandering mind. Make my bed, mother, for I fain would lie down.
Though I speak with tongues of men and of angels, and have not charity, I am but a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal.
Now get this straight, damn you! Mary had a little lamb. Mary had a little lamb. Voice without a body.
Have we gone too far?
Earthman, breath of man. How well upholstered behind.
Mary had a little lamb.
Her fleece was white as snow.
Her fleece was white as snow. A potter's mast.
Mary!
Working around the clock, Edison and his boys perfect the light bulb. Their invention changes the world. The MIT chorus commemorates the discovery.
Nightingale, be still.
Morpheus be gone. In the black, a spark kindles into dawn.
Bernhardt, the world's most famous actress, visits Edison in his lab. She flutters, pretends to wilt, and tells him how great he is. He agrees.
What am I? A flower. I raise my petals to the sky. Autumn winds buffet me. I am naked and dry. Winter's chill bleaches me. Soon I will die. Oh, bathe me in your healing glow. When day is done, ignite me with your fiery rays, luminous one.
Edison, my name is pulsing. Can you smell the smoking anode? Feel it, writhing fiery tendril like a rasp on your liver.
Only we know, you and I, what it means to be utterly sublime.
Hammer triumphus, copper sinews bear my juice. Belching black smokestacks stain my sky, my hands stream sparks. Metallurgists forge your links, and builders pile your heavy beams. New boy Edison runs a glowing console, power to crack your brain. Surging, chuckling tidal fingers, Merlin, Shiva, Vulcan, Thor. Power, overload the circuits melting, throw the switch, it's in the red.
We are the lodestars, Thomas. You, me, and possibly Shakespeare. Peering into darkness, the captain steers his mighty ark, cleaving the emptiness, leaving havens behind, guiding the human race with his great mind. Anoint me with your spilling light.
The shadows creep.
Oh, split me with your fiery rays. Tom Edison.
Thomas Edison Jr., Mary's second child, is a total failure. He loves his new stepmother, Mina Miller Edison, and she does her best to encourage him. He tries to change his luck by endorsing a medical device called the Thomas Edison Jr. Magno-Electric Vitalizer. Edison Sr., furious, pays him to change his name to Burton Willard.
I want to paint, he makes me clock in. Mina can't abide his cruel discipline. She's the light in this dark hole. Papa is the dragon guarding the gold. I could be rich, but Dad is a miser, so I put my name on the vitalizer. It's a medical marvel, Dad. It relieves symptoms of rheumatism, consumption, paralysis, and locomotor ataxia.
Am I seeing right? Did you sign this crap? Did I engender a first-class sap? What's it gonna cost me to buy back my name? To wipe the snake oil off of Edison?
Oh, it's yours, not mine. I'm your mark of shame. Forget the vitalizer. You hate everything I do. An angel from heaven ain't good enough for you. You have an angel as ripe as honeydew. She lets you maul her cock-a-doodle-doo, cock-a-doodle-doo.
You're as light as air, Tom, always getting fired. Mary's little lambs, splendid brood eyes hide.
You should be sterilized.
Young Tom Edison turned out the worst of the three.
This apple didn't fall far from the tree. Popsy.
$50 a month to can play this game. I pay more than they did to buy back my name.
I get it. No more Edison Jr. I'll be Bradley Plunkett. I'll be Burton Willard. Adieu, sir, gotta catch a train. I'll be under a rock in Spain.
Edison is using giant magnets to extract iron ore from the New Jersey mountains. The dust explodes, killing his faithful lieutenant, Charles Batchelor. He sings a duet with Batchelor's ghost, praising him. Too late.
This is it, I guess.
I'm not letting go of you.
Rather teammate, friend. Hail and farewell.
You are part of me.
I am your shadow.
I'd be a nobody.
I'd be even less.
Nothing will get done here without you.
I was born to help you out, it's true.
It's now too late to lavish you with praise.
I never wanted glory, just a raise. This is it, I guess.
I'm not letting go of you.
Brother, teammate, friend. Hail and farewell.
What do you see? What do you see, Charles?
It's
Edison's new wife, Mina, is the daughter of a farm equipment manufacturer. The two debate the future of his latest invention, moving pictures. He leans towards sex and violence. She wants to mold people's character.
Boxing, let's get Corbett to pulverize some idiot's glass jaw. On the long trail north to Newark, two cowboys, four banditos, and a squaw.
Hygiene and religion, the huddled masses yearning to breathe free.
Can he kiss her? Will she yield her chastity? A fella to pay a nickel just to see. Kinetoscope will float your folks in Iowa to foreign lands that they have never seen.
Kinetoscope will make our fellow citizens upstanding, fine, well-behaved and clean.
The teachers will be out of work when movies take their place. Corn-fed girls look boring beside a movie face.
A man sows, a woman bears his fruit, a family, the end.
Kinetoscope will bring you snarling tigers, magicians, Siamese twins, and jackalopes.
Avalanches, flash floods, and tornadoes. Pashas, princes, presidents, and popes.
Family life gets moldy when body sag and order turns to hate. Kinetoscope is bracing, vibrant and great.
Man proposes, God disposes, now and evermore. Amen.
When Edison is 67, a fire destroys 10 buildings at his factory complex. Edison and Mina survey the smoking ruins.
The works up in flames.
Only one dead. Thank God.
Everything I ever did.
Not everything, dear. There's me and the children.
Did I do something to deserve this?
Did Job? Of course not, dear.
Still, it's sad. Tragic, even. What a lot of work turned to garbage. We were filling trains out of here.
Look on the bright side, dear. America loves you, and you know it.
At least the concrete building stood up. That's one idea proved right.
What about you? Are you going to stand up? You've got the capital and the men. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll get the men in tomorrow. We'll get her fixed.
In his old age, Edison becomes a prophet, sought out by reporters for predictions and advice. Edison, the mortal man, is gradually disappearing behind his own legend.
steps into the kitchen. Mother's on her own. One hand on the mixer, the other on the phone. If you're cold, he'll warm you. If it's dark, he'll shine. Caruso's in the parlor and Grandpa's on the line. Edison's on the land and underneath the sea. His current is the muscle of a great democracy. Consolidated Edison, at home, at work, at play. His will, his mind, his energy shock us every day. Edison is everywhere, immortal, omnipresent. Though his flesh may rot and die, his mind is incandescent. Do you see a shooting star, a slash in velvet night, a message from afar, Apollo's flaming car, his light?
Isolated by profound deafness, Edison faces the great beyond. His last words, according to his widow, were the last words of this song. It's so beautiful up there.
Looking back from here, the view is cloudy gray. I'm not a fine example, despite what they say. Though I look benign, I've had a checkered past. My namesake went haywire, his ma didn't last. Cannot hear a thing, my friend, never mind how dire. I'll smile and raise a cup to you when you are yelling fire. Is anybody living here, or am I just a ghost? Friendly, courteous, thrifty, and kind, though deaf as a post. No white robe for me, no seat at God's right hand. My only golden rule is supply and demand. Stingy with the cash and sparing with my tears, I am alone as the grim reaper nears. Though we're made of meat, an angel nestles in mankind, guiding every cell. There is a teeny tiny mind. They'll desert the flesh and migrate to the other side, where surely there is peace and superior beings forever abide. We are machines that wear out and fail, all but the wind that fills our sail. Borne by the wind, upward we fly. I will not leave you, I'll watch from on high. and farewell.
What do you see? What do you see?